Chris, I think your claim to fame is
lies, manipulation, paranoia.
the theme of this game. Is literally paranoia.
Must be time for another episode of Claim to Fame. So far, the celebrity reveals on Claim to Fame's second season have included some major and beloved celebrities like Tom Hanks and Neil deGrasse Tyson. And the star power revealed in episode 3 is just as impressive.
When I hear the name Elvis Presley, I literally melt.
You will be speechless when you see who goes home this episode and their celebrity relatives. Stick around to find out. This is Phleek Reality, bringing you another tasty, hot serving of reality with Season 2, Episode 3 of Claim to Fame, aka Nepo Babies, the TV show. This episode is called Headshots and Thick Locks, and it delivers the goods. We start out with a recap of the clue Monet picked out last week for Chris.
We think Chris's celebrity relative is Nicolas Cage. Puppy love, shirt, and I something leave 7 shirts. This don't help me out.
As she shares it with Shane to try to figure it out. But Shane's not a lot of help.
There's like nothing happening in my brain. Girl, nothing. That's probably a song.
The clue is clearly saying something about the 7 Ds with 7 Ts. But the girls commit to 7 shirts, and Monet even makes it a song.
I don't know. And I rush and leave 7 shirts. Not 7 shirts, but I rush and leave 7.
Could her singing talent be a clue to her celebrity relative? Meanwhile, Gabriel spills some very interesting tea about his celebrity relative.
I'm looking at my celebrity relative like, it's obvious this guy is very generous, but at the same time very territorial, selfish, and collector of nice things.
And we find out his claim to fame is not an athlete, but he's leading everyone to believe he is.
It's that football check.
Yeah.
It's the check. If people figure out that my celebrity relative is not an athlete, that ruins me.
But not everyone is having a cool time keeping their celebrity relative a secret. Mama Jane gets paranoid when she finds out part of Monet's clue and immediately relates it to herself.
Monet, who had been keeping a clue to herself, uttered 2 words that sent chills down my spine.
Maybe Jane's celebrity relative is so big, she just can't keep it a secret any longer. Like Harley in episode 1. The clue is actually about Chris, and when he puts it together, he tells Jane, who seems almost disappointed to find out the clue is not about her.
But that's a huge identifying clue into mine.
No.
The plot thickens. Next is this week's challenge, which is all about headshots. Literally, the players get to take shots at balls with photos of their opponents' heads on them. Did Carson just give us a possible celebrity relative clue?
Oh, that is embarrassing. I look like Lord Farquaad.
This is a team challenge, and the teams are selected by 2 team captains chosen at random, who end up being Shane and Gabriel.
So our 2 captains are going to be Shane with the green team and Gabriel with the blue team.
They select their teams, and it's giving flashbacks to middle school when we all prayed we wouldn't get picked last for teams in phys ed. But someone has to be picked last, and it's Jane.
I'll take Carson.
Carson.
Is this an indication of her standing in the house? Gabriel's team struggles hard as Gabriel makes the mistake of making JR shoot it. And Jane was not any better despite her shooting skills.
On the flip side, I'm a target shooter.
Not even Gabriel's wardrobe could handle the heat from Shane's team.
Oh, Gabriel! Midair! Split his pants.
Shout out to the editors for making this game a lot more interesting than it actually was. Basically, Cole single-handedly knocked out almost all the players in the other team and won the game for Shane's team.
Gabriel, you are out!
Despite Cole doing all the work, Shane is rewarded for this challenge and gets immunity, which she needs because she's currently the only celebrity relative anyone in the house is sure about.
Shane and Chris. Shane is for sure Eddie Murphy, though. You would go to her, right? Immediately.
Gabriel gets himself into the bottom 2 and decides to bring Jane down with him.
I have to do Miss Jane, I'm sorry.
As the winner of the headshot challenge, thanks to Cole, Shane gets to pick an extra clue about anyone in the house, and she chooses Carson.
I picked Carson because out of everyone in the house, people have the least idea about who she might be related to.
Shane might want to figure out that clue because Carson's working hard to get rid of her and Monet.
We already know Shane. So in a perfect world, you get up there, you guess her, you're right. Boom, the duo is split up.
Right.
Carson's a force to be reckoned with because she's pretty good at deciphering clues and is the first person to make a good guess about who Jane might be related to.
That girl is related to Dolly Parton.
Jane and Gabriel start strategizing ways to not go home, and it becomes clear that Jane will most likely be the guesser because even though Jane does everything she can, including apologizing to Monet for assuming she pulled her clue,
I got scared.
I know you're just freaking out.
Gabriel still has more allies.
You have the numbers on your side for this.
But Jane has a good idea about Hugo's possible presidential relative.
Hugo has been in my back pocket since day one.
And Jane also gets Chris's clue from Monet.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
He's from Memphis, Tennessee. And 70.
So she still has a shot of staying in the game. We finally get to the elimination, and Jane is, of course, voted as the guesser. She goes for Chris and guesses he's related to Elvis Presley. Unfortunately, she makes the first wrong guess of the season and has to go home. Her celebrity relative is revealed, and it's none other than Dolly Parton, as Carson correctly guessed. Jane, whose real name is Jada, was clearly excited not to have to hide this secret anymore.
I can't wait.
And who can blame her? It's Dolly Parton.
However, how can you hide a superstar like Dolly Parton from anybody?
Did you expect Jane or Jada to go home tonight? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can always stay in the loop with Phleek Reality.